Thousands attend a new campaign for a cleaner and safer Port Moresby. Illegal miners arrested in Enga Province. Admiralty and FC POM win washout matches.
This is National EMTV News with Miriba Tulo.
Good evening, everyone. This is Sunday's news. Thanks for joining us. Mothers and families from the country joined the world over in taking time out on this special day to observe and celebrate the important role of mothers in commemoration of Mother's Day. Those in the National Capital District were no exception, with families pampering the special women in their lives through various forms of activities and festivities.
Happy Mother's Day to all our mothers.
Mother's Day is an event celebrated annually on the second Sunday of May. It is a day to recognize the sacrifices and positive contributions mothers make to their families, communities and the nation. Most shopping centres in Port Moresby were abuzz with excitement, with flocks of late shoppers rushing to buy that special gift for the special women in their lives. Some families chose to observe the day by attending church, where congregations were reminded through the Lord's word of the sacrifices women make each day in creating better lives for their families.
Important something on Mother's Day today, and me plarin lo church asem me plo mothers em important, but or papa tu em or stavosem leader belum me pla or stavosem boss belum me pla lo family na God em stavosem foundation belum me pla family.
For others, it was a day to wind down out on the town and catch up with fellow mothers over a meal and good music. Most restaurants in the city and social hangouts like the car club organized luncheons accompanied by fun activities for the mothers. For others, it was a time to relax from routine household chores over a barbecue with family in the comfort of their homes.
Our mothers, we try to give back to the ones that are still alive, and for me, I'm so happy because my mom's alive and I'm celebrating with her today.
Since birth, been in their stomach for about 9 months, so it's a blessing that we've been through life through them.
Women have always played a significant role in the traditional PNG society. Today, their status and contribution to the development of the country is being given prominence over time through various women movements like the National House Cry for Women, Women in Business, PNG Women's Forum and the recent APAC policy on women's empowerment.
It's great to have a mother in our lifetime, that because of the mothers we are who we are now.
Mother's Day, as a mother, I have raised my children, and I have put the very best I could to bring my children up. It's also hard working, trying to get my children this and that, but I give them all the best I can.
Vanessa Knight, National EMTV News.
Thousands turned out at the Jack Piddick Park in Port Moresby today as National Capital District Governor Powes Pakop launched the Oi Mai Moresby campaign. It is a campaign involving many of the city's local communities in an attempt to create a safer, cleaner and more vibrant Port Moresby in light of the Pacific Games and other international events that the nation's capital will play host to.
Thousands braved the Port Moresby sun this morning to attend the launch of Governor Pakop's Oi Mai Moresby campaign. Most of the participants were from local communities from Moresby South, North East and North West, and from various schools and churches as well. Participants put on dances as part of the event. Oi Mai Moresby, translated from the Motu language, means come to Moresby. The campaign itself carries an underlying message.
It's a campaign, firstly to assure the Pacific that we are ready. We are ready to deliver a clean, healthy and safe city. but in the long run, it's a campaign to make Moresby a destiny.
Governor Pakop said that in the long run, the campaign wants to make Port Moresby a destiny for investors, for athletes, and most importantly, for international tourists.
Tourism is a industry that has a lot of potential for our people. It can create a lot of employment. It can generate income to the pockets of our people.
He said while tourism is a real economic potential for locals to improve their lifestyles, the tainted image of the city is a huge challenge.
We will be looking at not just cleaning up, but some intervention that can divert young men, especially away from crime, away from violence. Nobody, is a winner when you use violence. Everybody's a loser. We pay a high price for violence, and unless and until we get rid of this as a means of dispute settlement or addressing grievances, we are just putting a noose around our neck.
Deli Waigeno, National EMTV News.
Over 50 illegal miners were arrested at the Porgera Valley in Enga Province. The arrests were made by the Force Support Battalion of the PNG Defence Force at the Kumbipara area on Saturday. Part of the Defence Force and Police Joint Special Operations, the Force Support Battalion will carry out operations in the coming months to clamp down on illegal mining that is widespread in the Porgera Valley.
Officers from the Mining Asset Protection Division are now raising concerns of the tactics used by illegal miners. They are saying they are being attacked by illegal miners who convert in groups into the mine pits and stockpile areas to steal gold. Yesterday, over 56 illegal miners were arrested by the new Force Support Battalion. Of the 56 arrested, one was a woman. The battalion is part of the Defence and Police Joint Special Operations. It consists of mainly Defence Force personnel that have trained with police to handle civil disputes and conflicts. The mass arrest, according to Senior Inspector Ewai Segi, will not stop illegal mining activities because it is now a widespread issue in the province.
I'm talking working living blue and settle here, finding I'm talking work garden.
Moreover, the Force Battalion is now tasked to cut down on this issue in the coming months. The 56 were brought to the Pine Police Station and were charged and will appear in court this week. Stanley Over Jr., National EMTV News.
And now to the progress of the nationwide Pacific Games Baton Relay. Thursday afternoon saw staff from the Walindi Plantation Resort in West New Britain take part. A Walindi staff member started the relay, leaving the resort and along the beach before passing it on to the next runner. The baton travelled through the bush path to a small group of people waiting at the Mahonia Naidari Research and Conservation Centre, which also houses the Walindi Nature Centre.
The baton continued and was passed on and carried down the track by a number of students from Max Benjamin Elementary School, all wearing traditional dress, with a small support group behind them. The last runner entering the school grounds where all the students were lined up, wearing hats and waving their hands, ready to receive the baton. Each student having a chance to touch the relay baton and making themselves a part of the Pacific Games in July. Games mascot Tura made an appearance, which had the children breaking the line to get close to him. Apart from his famous dance, the children had a photo opportunity with Tura. Then the UNICEF Children's Colouring and Information books were presented to the school and passed on. The baton left the school with students running in traditional dress. From girl to boy, the baton passed as it continued the relay on its way to the main road. There, people from the three villages close by, Mahonia Nadari, Tamara and Walindi, had the opportunity to run with the baton. The relay ended by late afternoon at Walindi Plantation Resort, giving time for a photo shoot for the runners. The Oil Search Baton Relay continues. Jeremy Mogi, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We go for a quick break now. When we come back, the opposition says it needs legislation to be effective. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. To the 2015 ABG general elections, 50 international observers have arrived in the autonomous region of Bougainville to observe the election process. According to Acting Electoral Commissioner George Manu, the Commission is committed to delivering credible and transparent elections. In addition, 75 national observers will be deployed to all three regions in Bougainville. Opposition leader Don Pollier says the opposition is operating in a legislative vacuum. He says the opposition needs to have a guided legislation to effectively guide the opposition's roles and functions. Mr. Pollier adds the opposition is planning to introduce several private member bills in Parliament. Quinton Alomp with this report.
One of those private members' bill the alternate government is planning to introduce is to have a fair representation in both sides of the parliament.
So we have got a balancing effect on democracy. We do not want to see a one-sided run a parliament. We do not want to see a belittled opposition. We do not want to see a government that uses money in order to lure all members of the opposition and other members on the floor of parliament onto the government side, and you've got a skeleton opposition on the other side. The opposition is equally very important to what the government is doing.
Opposition leader Don Pollier said there is no legislation effectively guiding the opposition side of the government to effectively perform its functions. Some of these functions are the role of the leader of the opposition, shadow ministers, the procurement processes and policies. To find solutions to this legislative vacuum, Mr. Pollier has engaged a prominent law firm to research other democracies around the world, study their laws and develop legislation for the opposition.
Because I've seen there is this grey area, I believe the opposition cannot work in a legislative vacuum. We need to have legislature created and legislated by the parliament to appropriately guide the opposition to perform its functions effectively.
The opposition leaders said they hope to introduce these bills in this term of the parliament. With no guided legislation and a skeleton opposition, the critical Kandep MP and opposition leader said they will still hold fast. Quinton Alomp, National EMTV News.
The PNG Red Cross Society held its fundraising dinner to raise funds to continue its humanitarian activities in the country. Patron of PNG Red Cross and Governor General Sir Michael Ogio was guest of honor. It was well attended by heads of Red Cross partners and government entities as well as non-governmental organizations. Governor General Sir Michael commended the work of Red Cross in PNG and acknowledged its partnership with the government. He said Red Cross plays a vital role in disaster preparedness and disaster management, and such events like the dinner were vital for raising funds for their operations. PNG Red Cross National Chairman Webb Kanawi called for potential partners to join the cause.
The leading humanitarian organization in Papua New Guinea, PNG Red Cross plays a very important, vital role in empowering and improving the lives of the vulnerable and marginalized people in our communities.
We have 13 branches, 2,000 to 3,000 volunteers, and close to 100 members. And we would like to grow that. And tonight, judging by support Loyupla, we can do it. We need to grow to as much as 20,000, 30,000 volunteers right throughout the country.
Landowners of large-scale mining operations are still experiencing minimal benefits. Although the resources are being extracted, host communities are still being marginalized when it comes to development and basic services. A recent study by the National Research Institute focusing on benefit-sharing arrangements at Hidden Valley Gold Mine has pointed out that adjustments are needed.
Despite PNG's booming economy driven by mining industries, research has shown that people in the impacted areas where mining companies operate have not benefited much from the benefit-sharing arrangements. Despite a certain percentage agreed on in the Memorandum of Agreement between the company, customary landowners, provincial and the national government, people in the impacted areas have remained poor with low social indicators. Dr. Osborne Sanida from the NRI carried out a study on how benefits from Eden Valley Gold Mine are said, focusing on the analysis of the 2005 MOA. Findings show that the company is faithful to the MOA by paying the agreed percentage. However, there are inconsistencies when royalty, tax and other funds are paid to the landowner companies, LLG, provincial and the national government.
The money is gone, but the results are not seen at the ground level. So there's a question, how do we make this money work for the people, the landowners? Two key recommendations were to pool all the financial benefits into one pool, and then have three sub funds.
When launching the report, Bulolo MP Sam Basil said the Bulolo District Administration will make sure landowners of the new Wafi mine do not go through similar circumstances. Basil wants the government to allow districts to benefit from the district support grants.
Only the provincial government and the national government gets the benefit, but they don't know how to connect those benefits to the landowners. And I think it's about time the landowners should benefit of 50% of what is going on and coming out of their land. We should push those back into the landowners, into the villages and into the local areas where the resource comes from.
As PNG awaits payout for its LNG proceeds, this research can be a stepping stone and lesson learned for the government to adjust some of its structural weakness that delays royalty payouts, compensation, business spin-offs, and other special support grant. NRI Director Dr. Thomas Webster said the equity sharing from mines are clear, but there are structural deficiencies within the government system. Quinton Alomp, National EMTV News.
We go for a break now, but up next in Trukai Sports, more on the oil search Baton relay and all the action from the National Soccer League washout games. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Oil Search Pacific Games relay finished in Enga Province, then headed off to the New Guinea Islands region again, arriving this time in the West New Britain Province. The week ended at Walindi. Jeremy Moggy with this report.
From Como village, the Baton travelled to Koroba, where a spectacular Hela welcome awaited. The relay ran around town and was then passed back to the Hela Huli at Tokia Bridge. The next day, the Baton was flown by helicopter to Moro, where it was welcomed by a fire truck and a helicopter convoy. The day was spent running relays with staff and contractors of oil search and visits to the operating plant and drill rigs before a great fun night at the oil search ridge camp. The relay then left for the islands and West New Britain. The relay arrived in the evening and was welcomed in the rain by the governor and Hoskins Secondary School. The next day saw two relays, one to the plantations and mills of New Britain palm oil, and the second to the town of Kimbe. And then the Baton went underwater, Walindi dive team taking the Baton to two dive sites to meet a friendly hawksbill turtle and the white-tip reef sharks at English Shoal. The relay was ceremonially welcomed to the area by the local people at Rest of Island, where the team was met by a Sing Sing group and a pig was killed to allow the team to pass through. The Oil Search Pacific Games relay has now travelled over 21,500 kilometers across Papua New Guinea, and over 250,000 people have experienced the relay. Jeremy Moggy, National EMTV Sports.
Youth will refrain from criminal activities if supported through sporting sponsorship. Moses Kumbi from the Moresby South Rugby League made these comments, saying this has been an obstacle for years. Mr. Kumbi said this following the sponsorship announcement of Naka Mosquitoes Rugby League Club today.
Supporting youths in the country through sporting activities is an avenue to minimize lawlessness in the country. But little has been done to achieve this goal. Today, Naka group of companies from Medang announced its sponsorship for the Mosquito Rugby League Club in the Moresby South competition. Club manager Peter Pala said seeking sponsorship is an obstacle most sporting codes face in the city.
As we all know, that securing sponsorship in Port Moresby right now is very tough. We were very fortunate to get a sponsorship from a company that is out of Moresby.
With the country spending millions to host the 2015 Pacific Games, Moresby South RFL official Moses Kumbi said local competitions must be supported to turn away youths from crime.
It's an eye-opener for the business houses in Moresby South to support the teams that are taking part in Moresby South League. Get our youth involved in sports, do away with these criminal activities, and then...
Kumbi wants business houses to take the lead in supporting youths in sporting activities. The Moresby South Rugby League season is one of the competitions attracting urban youth, but support is needed. A total of 24 teams play both in A grade and under 19. The competition is in its second season. Jack Lapave Jr. National, MTV Sports.
And that concludes True Kai Sports for tonight. I'll have all the weather details for you after the break.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
Let's take a quick look at the weather for Momasa region. Leh, you can expect brief showers, a few showers at times for Medang, late night showers for Wewak, and mostly fine tonight with possible showers tomorrow in Vanimo. And that's how we end today's bulletin. I'm Merabatulo. Thanks for watching. Have a safe working week. Bye for now.